The doorbell rang again, such a familiar sound, but for the first time the party was Diana's. Coming in from the deck, she checked herself in the hallway mirror. Her parents' kitchen was behind her. The other incoming students had picked over the sushi trays. The pot stickers were long gone. In the corner of the mirror, her mother's reflection sank a cleaver into another watermelon. She caught Diana's eye and smiled. Her morning's worth of unspoken worries were now unfounded as well because her daughter had thrown a hell of a party. Friends shape us, friends break us, and sometimes they just fade. After exploring legacy and loss, we now ask what happens when people who make you become the people holding you back? Welcome to Bad Asians. I'm Zan. Konnichiwa, aloha, buongiorno, and what's up? And welcome to another episode of the Spiraken Book Club where we talk about various books. And this is our 16th entry of Project 45 by 45, where I read 45 books before I hit 45. And we're doing pretty good. I mean, it's March and we're already at 16. Doing pretty good. We're a third of the way there. We've got several more months to go. So, with that in mind, let's actually get to it because I'm actually excited to talk about this one because this is one where I got the arc about 3 months ago, even though the book came out last month. A little behind on that. And I'd like to thank Henry Holt and Company for providing this. As usual, these thoughts are Spiraken and my own. They are not from any company that I got this arc from. But with that in mind, let's actually get to it because the book I'm talking about is one which deals with the 2008 financial crisis, growing up, friendship, and the beginning of social media. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about Bad Asians. This is by Lillian Li. This came out in 2006, like I said, on February 12th. And it is a story of four friends who, over a period of 8 years, see their friendship come together, get destroyed, and all the insanity involved. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's actually get to this because this is set primarily in the beginning in 2008, which was a wondrous time, an amazing time. So many things happened during this time. I mean, you had Obama becoming president, you had Bernie Madoff getting arrested, you had the obsession with Snuggies. The Spark and Manga Review, our podcast, started in 2008. And more important than that, you had the global financial crisis, which was, if you watch movies like The Big Short, you know it's people started betting against the market, things went down, a lot of industrial people lost their jobs, a lot of financial things happened. And if you're growing up in 2008, if you were in college, you were sold this bill of goods, which was, oh, yeah, go to college, you're going to do great, you're going to do wonderful, life will be great as long as you go to college, you get a job, you have money, and all will be good. But what happens when that's not the case? Well, that's what happens to our main characters who figure this out during this time because all of them are graduates of the University of Maryland. Their lives were good, and they're from a very close knit Asian community in Maryland. And our players we have are Diana Zhang, Vivian Wang, Errol Chen, and Justin Yu. And they've been friends since they were little kids. When an incident involving another kid from a family who just moved in who couldn't speak English kind of was bullying one of them, and then they ended up coming together, beating them up, and then the one who was getting bullied saved them by peeing on them. It was a whole thing. Note this is going to be spoiler alike. But long story short, so we have these four people. We have Diana. She's the she's not the leader of the group, but she tries to be the leader of the group. She makes a lot of the decisions. She's the one that pushes everything around, and more importantly, she's the one that tries to hold everything together. And even though she's critical and kind of rude, push comes to shove, she'll be there for them. Then you have Errol. Errol is the exact opposite. He's the baby of the group, more literally than most because he's 2 years younger. He skipped two grades to join them, and he is brilliant. He got accepted by Microsoft to join their company when he was younger. He's doing pretty well, but even though he is intellectual, he's not street smart and common sense smart. People have to keep reminding him to do things, and with that, we have Vivian. Vivian is the I don't want to say she's basic, even though she says she's basic. She's kind of basic, but she's the one who takes care of the group. She's the mother of the group, and she's Errol's girlfriend. She takes care of him, makes sure he's good, and she loves him. She loves him. He's very important to her. Even when things are wrong, she cares about him. She's also kind of the catalyst for some things that happen. And then last and not least, we have Justin. Justin is he's not the forgettable one, but he's the one that's there to help them out. He's the strong man. He's the one that's there, and he's also closeted. They don't know that yet, but he's there, and it's part of who he is. And they're back. They've been there for a couple of years, and like I said, in Asian community, they move to the older parents move from China, Korea, Thailand, Japan, wherever. They come to America to better themselves. And then they push their dreams on their children to better themselves. You want to be a doctor, you want to be success. And it's a very highly competitive field. And the most popular person in the community was this young woman named Grace Lee. She was, doesn't matter that Diana got a full ride into the University of Maryland. Grace got to pay full price at Harvard because it's Harvard. And it's great. And she did great. She studied all the time. She was number one in this and that. And she was valedictorian. Great. She was the one all the parents looked up to. She went to Harvard. She's coming home from Harvard. Everyone's buzzing about it. Why is that? Well, also the thing is that her mom's no longer living in the community. She may have to sell all of her houses. Something happened. She may have lived above her means. It's kind of this very interesting social dynamic where they're envious of her, but they're also kind of, what's the word I'm looking for here? Jealous. And so Grace comes back, and she used to be friends with them, kind of. Justin lived in the same house as her for a while because reasons, and she used to make fun of Errol. And years ago, she made a little film documentary of them when they were kids, around 13. She comes back, says, "Listen, I'm back in the area, and I have an idea. I want to make a full documentary with a follow up for what happened years ago. See where you're at." And she convinces them to agree because they're trying to be nice to her because things are going on. Also, they see the state that she's in, that she actually didn't leave Harvard voluntarily. She dropped out of school and she's kind of homeless. She's squatting in her old parents' home. And so she decides to set up a film, make a film and interview them and talk to them. And then some things happen. Words are said, things that you can't take back are taken back. And she stops talking to them. And where the book opens up, she has released the video on a new burgeoning social media app called YouTube. So the world has seen these four friends in their worst and best moments. As you can guess, over the next 6 years, or I'm sorry, 8 years, because 2008 to 2016, we see the fallout from these friends and what happens to them. We see relationships break up, people's complete careers change. Some of them do things completely different. Like in the opening line, Diana ends up getting into Harvard as a post grad, and she doesn't tell her friend she's going to Harvard, and that's kind of a big lie. And they're kind of shocked because they're going to move in together. They're going to do things. Also, like I said earlier, Errol was part of Microsoft, and he quit after 3 months. Reasons which are kind of important. Also, the interviews brought out some of the worst of them and also brought some truths like, why am I with this person? Why am I not talking about this thing? Or why don't I do this? And this leads to tons of fallout. And over the years, we see them break apart, come together, and it's a fascinating story. It's really well written, and it brings you into this community that I knew nothing about. Similar to in Stephen Graham Jones' Mapping the Interior, which was talking about the Native American uh, life, this is talking about Asian American community, and it's fascinating. It draws you in. I read this book in 6 hours. 6 hours to do, I believe it is 317 pages. And Lillian Li, your prose are amazing. I love this. This drew me in, and I was engaged with everyone. And unlike with Tomorrow, which is another one set in this period of time, this flows so much better, and all the characters have an equal amount of pacing. Even Grace has a point of view when we get to see what she's going through. And this deals with so much. And also, it's that period of time. Because if you're in 2008, there was so much going on. Social media was becoming a thing. Life was changing, and you're trying to find your place. And in the 20s, you make a lot of stupid decisions. And everyone says, when you're 20, you're grown up. You're never grown up. Even I'm in my 40s. I'm still technically not grown up. I'm still learning. We still learn. We make it up as we go along, and we make mistakes. We do stupid things. And in 2008, it was harder because, like I said, social media wasn't really. We didn't get the grasp of it, the spread of it. You know, you type something, thinking, "Oh, I'm just talking to one person," and then the whole world knows about it. The movie Chef with John Favreau shows that. In a Twitter post, he thinks he's privately messaging the critic, and he ends up posting it to the world, and it kind of blows up in his face because everyone sees he kind of insults this guy. This is the same situation where this documentary could destroy them. It could ruin them. It could ruin the fact that some people have jobs or their families or something else, and they have to do damage control. And the damage control makes things worse. And then it's where they go from here. And this one just draws you in. It is a well written story about a group of friends as they try to just survive this world and come together and fall apart. And some people said, "Oh, this is the one that is. It's a great thing about friends who are coming together in this new millennia and they're staying together." It's like, no, it's them surviving the fallout and them working to better themselves. And there's some interesting aspects of what happens. I mean, one of them ends up in a throuple. Didn't expect that. Another person jumps out of a window. They survive. Don't worry. And another one joins either an MLM or a cult. We're not sure. They kind of, it seems like it could go either way. Like, is it a cult? Is it a, but the results of this, it's honest and it's so composed. It draws you into this. And this shows you how things are survivable, but how to survive it, you adapt, you change. It's really cool, really fascinating. And I keep saying cool, and that's a filler word, but this drew me in a way where I haven't read in a while. I really did like this. Now, the fact that the ending kind of it ends abruptly, that part was kind of a little mess. It is kind of like a here's what happens, which I'm fine with it. But it was a little bit of a downer. Also, if you are someone who's not willing to put yourself in someone else's position, in someone else's shoes, you're not going to get this. You're not going to like this. If you have issues with people who are certain nationalities, sexualities, or someone who just doesn't like that period of time, you're not going to get anything out of this. But I say give it a read. It's worth it. It is great. And uh, the hardcover looks exceptional. The design for the cover, I love this. I love the 90s or 2000s style. It looks very much like an old computer cartoon image, and I love the helmet. Also, there's moments when you have actual articles put in, and at the bottom it says, "You've reached the limit of your free articles. Already a subscriber? Log in now." Kind of clever. Now, how does this end? Do they get back together? Do they stay friends? Do they break apart and never see each other again? What happens? Who breaks up? Who stays together? Do other people, does things happen? Do people grow up? What occurs? How do people destroy themselves? Well, you gotta read to find out. And for me, after long thoughts and debating about this, I have to give this, well, our second highest rating of Borrow from a Friend. It's a nostalgic gut punch of a novel that weaponizes early internet fame against a friendship that you root for, even when they're at their worst. Even as it crumbles apart, you try to root for them. And there's this millennial angst that hits perfectly. And it's presented in a way where it just, I want to say I love it. But yeah, it just, it fits so well. If you're from this time period, read this. You're going to be like, I get this. I had friends like this. I was this person. And also some of the references, the CPK thing. A lot of us had that's our hangout, the CPK. It's like, yeah, CPK. And it's set in Maryland. And it goes all different locations. It goes to New York. It goes to Texas. Yeah. I will say, the characters, they're all fully fleshed out. The one that you feel the most for is surprisingly Justin, because Justin's story is it's crazy. Justin's is crazy. Errol's is sad. Vivian's it goes all over the place. Grace's is even rough because Grace, it's like you feel bad for Grace and you want her to succeed, but also she gets the fame bug because remember she's the one who's the documentarian, and when she does this, she kind of goes totally like, well, you can weaponize things really easily when you're mad. So now, if you've read this or you haven't read this, let me know your thoughts. Email me, zansparkin.com, tweet me, Sparkin. And as always, if you're watching on YouTube, remember to like, share, subscribe, and as always, click on that bell for notification for these new episodes. And tell your friends about this. I love doing this. I love having a dialogue with you. Let me know your thoughts. Did you read this? Did you not? And actually, I'm kind of excited to see what your opinions of this was. If you did enjoy this and read this, let me know. Anyway, so let's get to the next book. So for number 17 of Project 45 by 45, I am going to be reading a interesting film adaptation. Well, it's not film adaptation. It's an unauthorized sequel to the 1986 Batman with Michael Keaton, but before Batman Begins. It's called Batman Resurrection. Looks really cool. Michelson is the author. So we're at M. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? We're going to find out. But anyway, as usual, I'm your host, Zan. I'm Gonzville. Catch you guys next time. And keep reading books. I'll see you later. And I fucked that up. Let's do it one more time. So anyway, as usual, I'm your host, Zan. I'm Gonzville. Catch you guys next time. And keep reading books. I'll see you later.